Welcome everyone to the AACA Museum Incorporated here at 161 Museum Drive in Hershey, Pennsylvania, known as the sweetest place on earth. My name is Bill Rothermel. I am Secretary of the Board of Directors as well as the Chair of the museum's Car Collection Committee. Our car collection involves over 300 vehicles, which include cars, trucks, motorcycles, buses, bicycles, anything really with wheels. This is another edition of Collections Chronicles whereby we tell you about some of the vehicles in our collection. This is an especially interesting and a really cool vehicle. It's a 1929 Ford Model A. Lots of Model A's were built, millions and millions of Model A's. The Model A was introduced to the public in the fall of 1928, and it was really at the reluctance of Henry Ford, who had built the Model T from 1908 to 1926. It was really at the insistence of his staff and his son that the Model A actually came about. This is a much more complicated vehicle than the Model T. In addition to the being more complicated, the pedal setup in this car, where the brake, clutch, and gas are located, is a conventional setup, much like we see on cars today. This was really the car that, so to speak, set the standard for that, even though it was commonplace on other manufacturers. It was not that in the case of the Model T. This is a four-cylinder engine, about 40 horsepower, mated to a manual transmission on the floor, a floor-mounted manual transmission. What is particularly unusual about this vehicle is the fact that it is a Roadster pickup. Many of you have perhaps never seen one. These were built in very small numbers, about less than 3,000 or so per year. And the reason they were built was for orchards and businesses where fruit growers needed a pickup. The top was down, enabling them to look up at the trees, and for that matter, if they wanted to pick fruit, they could pick the fruit and toss it into the back. And it was a matter of convenience, but it was when the Model A production ended, so did the production of the, obviously the Roadster pickup was not returned in the model lineup when the Ford V8 was introduced. The Model A gets its name because of the fact that instead of following the progression of Ford and letters of the alphabet, A, B, C, K, N, R, S, T, etc., in the Ford lineup, they felt it was appropriate, like starting all over again. Thus, the company used the Model A name. In addition to that, when the car was introduced in the fall of 1928, nearly a quarter of the American public actually turned out at Ford dealers to see this car. Can you imagine today if we had that many people come to car dealerships when a new model was introduced? Really pretty spectacular, and how important the automobile was to life in America. You can see this vehicle and all of the others in our collection online or at the museum, once again at 161 Museum Drive in Hershey, Pennsylvania, or online at www.aacamuseum.org.